do, I'm going to take this camera with what we just stated as far as being the foundation that we want to go from. We want you to talk about how you see what we're doing. I can talk to somebody that may not hear it the way I'm saying it to them. But when A-Maid says it from her unique perspective, they're like, oh yeah, because the way that they are wired is similar to the way she's wired.
In the denomination of Pentecostalism, being taught that in order to be saved, you have to speak in tongues to be saved. If you did get saved and you happen to backslide by sinning, you know, you happen to do something wrong, if you don't tarry again or speak in tongues again, you're going to hell and you're going to burn forever. And that's it. You get saved, you have to cut people off, even if they're in your family, if they're still out there in the world, they drinking, they smoking, listen to this type of music or doing whatever, you have to cut them off. You have to be set apart because you're holy now. So you can't be among them. 2005 maybe was my first time even hearing about the kingdom, the little bit that I did hear, and that was an era itself. But now I'm at a point where I know who I am. I am that I am because He is. I don't have to worry about working to be saved or to stay saved or even be scared of an eternal hell or burning forever. I am a lover of people. I love people and I love unity. I love being together just with everybody. It doesn't matter about your color, creed, race, whatever. I love being with everyone. And so with my passion and now knowing what I know about salvation or just people and all humanity, it's easier for me to be around others that's different, talk to them and not be offended by what they do or make them feel condemned or judged when I'm with them or around them. I simply see the seed of Christ that is in everyone, just like it was in me, it's in everyone. Although everyone may not be awakened to it at the moment, it's in everyone. And people don't have to change because God made us that. The seed is there. One waters that seed, one plants other seeds, and God gives the increase. That's right.
I want to hear from you as well, just like how your perspective on, you know, yeah, Pittsburgh, Wheeling, but just more so humanity, what we are and what we do.
So I'm Brittany Valentine, as he said, and my background is pretty much born and raised in the pews. So my dad was a pastor. My first words were speaking about God, something about God. So like I knew all the Christian lingo, I knew all the Christianese sayings. And growing up like that, I don't regret how my parents raised me. Like I appreciate, you know, what they did for me and how they taught me about God. But at the same time, I look back and I realized how religious I was in a lot of ways. I felt like, growing up, I felt like I had to try to be something that I wasn't. I would look around and I would always try to see, okay, I see how this person over here is looking. Let me dress like them. I was never taught how to draw from that place within me. I always felt like, okay, I knew, and I knew growing up I had like a calling, what they would say, to, you know, speak in some capacity. But I always had that fear within me because I was like, okay, do I have to look like her? Do I have to put on, you know, a long skirt? Or do I have to do my hair like this? I never was taught how to pull within me, from within me. And and I always thought my purpose had to be something within the church, you know. I had to either be a youth leader or a choir director, or I never really saw how my gift and how what God placed in me could be used outside, like in the world, how people could be affected.
You had to be over and auxiliary.
Right. A box, and though I didn't really voice it back then, I always had these questions like is this it? Like, is there more? Like, these 4 walls that I go to every Sunday, every Wednesday, is this what I do until I'm like 99, until I die? And so it was crazy, because now that I'm at this place right now that I've connected with John and LaShonda and everybody else in ministry here, I see things totally different. Like, I don't feel the need to try to be something that I'm not. I'm comfortable with being who I am. My passion now is just for people to understand their identity and for them to know who they are. You don't have to be someone else. The world needs who you are, just the way you are. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to sound a certain way. And when we do that, when we teach people that they have to be this one model or this one person, we rob people of what God placed in them. And the world gets robbed of what God placed in them. And it's just beautiful to be around people who are unique, who are different, but at the same time we're all comfortable being together because we embrace each other and we embrace everybody's uniqueness. I don't even feel the need to, you know, when I'm on the streets or if I'm out in public or whatever, I don't feel the need to hand out a tract or to tell people about Jesus.
You better lay hands on somebody.
And I used to think that.
Got to pray for one person before you go back in your house.
And I used to feel this pressure that, okay, if I was surrounded by like 10 sick people, if I didn't lay hands on one, that I'm backsliding, like I'm not being a Christian. But there's so much freedom now. I know that I can be normal. I can, you know, have a normal conversation, but still release life to people.
So you can actually care about somebody.
Yeah, I can actually care about somebody.
The person.
It's not about coming to my church on Sunday. It's about the needs of that person and like what they actually desire and just drawing out of them those treasures.
We need to hear from you, Keith.
Warhead cue.
Let me know when we're rolling past.
Oh, we're rolling, man.
I want to thank praise the Lord for being good.
Straight time.
No, but seriously.
Speak hands for me.
Seriously. I thank God for my connection with the Ark. With the War Center, whatever you want to call it, for a lot of different reasons, but one of the main reasons was, and I actually couldn't ask this question while I was in religion because I felt as though it was to be some type of blasphemy, but I always felt like we were living defeated, like it was always defeat, like I was taught that the world is going to continue to get worse and there was nothing that we could do about it but just save as many people as we can before the end. Before God comes and the majority of the people burn in hell for eternity while only a select few get to have an eternal praise break in heaven and just, you know, as the organs just blasting and we just have church in heaven, you know what I mean? And it was just like, it just, I couldn't wrap my mind around God being so, I guess,
petty.
Weak. Yeah, petty and weak. You know what I mean? But like I could never call him weak then because I'm like, well, that's just the will of God. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. But now that I can look back with a free mindset, it's like, how can we say God is all powerful? You know, how can we say God is everywhere? God is all powerful. God is love. Love doesn't lose. And at the same time, believe that, you know, a literal external being named Satan wins more pieces in the chess game than God. And that's what basically religion taught me, is that God and basically another God,
Satan are playing a game of chess, and Satan wins more pieces, but yet it's somehow a victory for us because we church people. You know what I mean? But like, not to say that, you know, it's a good thing to just be wild, but I'm saying it's a good thing to not conform to something that just because.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just got tired of being a loser. I got tired of running around in circles. You know, like, I would think there's a church on every block in the hood. Every block in the hood. But the hood is still the hood.
2 on some blocks.
I've seen 2.
Like, I've seen 2
what are
on
you
one
changing?
strip.
Like, and then just to think, like, have the mindset, okay, there's a church on every block in the hood, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. The murder rate's still the same, the dropout rate is still the same, but what we need right now is another church. Like, you need to go on and start your own church, young preacher, man. Why? There's 80 churches in the hood. Like 81, now that's going to make the devil mad, another church. Really? You know, like, if I were to sin, or if I were to do something wrong, I couldn't even feel like I can talk to God after that, because that's the way that the system made me feel. Like, you know, I was up one day, down the next day. I couldn't imagine why I couldn't be perfect like the preachers on TV. You know, because obviously they were perfect. You know, but I couldn't be perfect like the preachers on TV. They're only perfect until they get caught. Me, I was imperfect every day. You know, so I feel like, oh, I can't even go to God today because, you know. And then I was taught, you know, you have to repent after every sin. Like, that was just the weirdest. I was like, just hearing these things back, the things I used to believe, just really sets me off. You know, like, if I don't say sorry after every little thing that I've done, I'm going to be eternally tortured, even if I believe in Jesus. So why do I believe in Jesus then? What is he doing for me if one little slip up and I'm just gone? He's just, I'm sorry, I know you love me, but man, you shouldn't have took that piece of candy.
Well, you read where it said, flee from me, I never knew you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I never knew you. All the stuff you was doing was in vain because, you know, anyways, but it's like, it was just so much stuff that didn't make any sense at all. So it was like, it was just religion, and I just got tired of religion. I needed freedom. I needed to know the truth of what the gospel really was, because that just wasn't cutting all that emotionalism, all that just practice. It's all practice. It's all practice.
Brought up pretty much as a Christian, non-denominational actually, so you know we can have a little fly. We can have a denomination. But I realized maybe like last year, I realized I was like saved for like maybe 15 years or something, and it was just like I was saved for 15 years, but I wasn't a 15-year-old Christian. I was a newborn Christian for 15 years, you know, and it was like.
That'll piss you off too.
But it was just like, here I am, this Christian, and every day I would wake up feeling like, is this all there is to life? There has to be more than that. Like, I literally wrote it. If I didn't write it 1,000 times, I didn't write it at all in like different notebooks looking back. And I'm just like this can't be it. So I guess God, somehow my Keith came to me. God sent Keith to me, and we kind of went down this journey together. Kaya, the awakening, grabbed the hour. But no, God sent him to me, and we kind of started this journey. God brought the kingdom to us, and it's just life became like I became alive. You know, I died, but I came alive, and things started to make sense. Because I was the type of person that I didn't just care about I didn't just care about my gender. I don't just care about my friends. I don't just care about my family. I don't just care about my race. I don't just care about my country. Like, I really have a heart for like everybody, and it was like there was no real room for that. How I was raised up, you know, because if people didn't do this or they didn't do that, then you know, you just kind of like, you know, divorce from, you know, separate from them. It was just like that didn't make sense because everything inside of me just wanted to love on people.